You are watching TV20.
Serving the community since 1989.
You are looking at the beautiful complex. It's where history was made years ago, right here at the historical League Park for the Cleveland Metropolitan School Boys Baseball Championship game between the John Marshall Lawyers and the James Ford Rhodes Rams. Hi, I'm Tim Wells, and my partners are in the house. Tom Castleberry back for another year. And Tom, when you talk about championship action, yeah, we're not a progressive. Rain wouldn't permit it, but coming here brings a lot of memories as well.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a great field, historic field. You're still playing for school pride in that city championship, so it doesn't matter where you play the game. They'll be happy to get out with the win.
And Colin Robertson was on board here as the umpires, and he'll be talking about some of the rules and plays as we go through. And Colin, it really is a special feeling for the umpires to be in this type of game at this location.
Absolutely, Tim. Just what you said. We couldn't play a progressive, which is too bad. The kids look forward to that every year, but this is just as good down here. A little chilly today, but not too bad.
Well, before we get to the game, we have some pregame ceremonies that we're going to take care of as we're getting ready to honor all of the League All-Stars, and right now we're going to go to Edwin Santiago for those introductions.
Good afternoon. Historic League Park for 2019 CMSD Championship. Before then, we'd like to honor our All-Stars. Representing Glenville, 9th grader Alexis Brodas. Also from Glenville, Arjane Curry. Representing James Rhodes, Brianna Vasquez, and Brenda Bermudez. Representatives from John Hay, Emily Kazuli, Kiesia Williams, Nicole Delaney. Representing John Marshall, Zoe Kelly, Hannah Thompson. Representatives from Lincoln West, Keishla Castro, and Paula Garcia. Representing Max Hayes, Lisa Marie Camacho, and Natalia Ruiz. Her Senate's most valuable player comes from James Rhodes, Annalise Metro. And the coach of the year also comes from James Rhodes, John Whitkey. And for our baseball all-stars, representing Collingwood, Marcus Cole. Representing East Tech, Cordell Repress Davis. Representing Lincoln West, Franklin Cepeda and Walter Alvarez. Representing Max Hayes, Sammy Tremino. Representing John Marshall, Alonzo Lopez, Terry Harris, and Jeremiah Moreno. Representatives from John Hay, Keith Lazari, Thomas Austin. Representing James Ford Rhodes, Alex Soto, and Steven Tavares. Your Senate MVP comes from James Ford Rhodes, Ricardo Flores. And your Coach of the Year comes from James Ford Rhodes, Brian McHolland. One more round of applause for our All-Stars. Thank you.
pregame ceremonies right here from League Park, and obviously there's a lot of excitement in the air. And when we get to the teams, first we're going to talk a little bit about the teams right now, and we're going to talk about the keys to the game and seeing some of the key players. First of all, John Marshall comes in at a 5-1 record. They're coached by Ken Robeson. And again, they had a previous matchup 4-1, only relatively lately, but a decent ball game. But Marshall hurt themselves in that game with base running mistakes and infield errors. But when we had a chance to catch up with the coach, what did he tell you, Tom, the keys for the game for him?
Yeah, he said, just like you said, it was big to have sound defense, only give the team 3 outs. His pitcher needs to keep them off balance, and they're going to need to score 5 runs or more to win this game.
And then when you're talking about some outstanding key players, it doesn't get much better than that when you're starting with the right-handed pitcher that they're really counting on today to keep them in the ball game with Alonzo Lopez.
Yeah, he's got 35 strikeouts this year with only 5 walks, so that'll be key for them. He's got a nice low ERA of 2.24. He does need to stay focused, but he's a good leader out there.
And in the middle, Terry Harris, their shortstop. They need him to play the defense, and he's got a hit with runners in scoring position. And on the right is number 16, Jeremiah Marino. Again, a captain of the team. He's a veteran. He's got to lead them today and keep them in there. And then when you look at the Rhodes teams, starts with a team that is 8-0, 12-6 overall. They are our defending champions. Again, when you're talking about an outstanding team that comes in fundamentally, this is what the coach has been stressing all year long, Brian McCollin. But what were keys for their team, Tom?
Yeah, he wanted to make sure they get out and score early. He wanted to limit the walks to stay away from the big inning, as any coach would want to do. And as always, especially in these games, just go out. He wants his guys to go out and make the routine plays. And he feels if they do that, they got a great shot at taking home another championship.
And again, when you're looking at those key players, they don't get much better than their catcher, and he's one of the main leaders, Alex Soto. Let's talk about those guys.
Yeah, they feel if he scores, when he scores twice a game, they're 7-1, so they need him to get on base and get around and get in. He's their leadoff guy, their captain, and one thing's going to play a very key role today with this big backstop is he blocks the ball very well.
And in the middle, Ricardo Flores, he's the MVP of the league. He's going to be the guy that'll be tossing them for Rhodes. Big RBI hitter. And on the right, number 17, Philip K. Tom, tell us about him.
Yeah, he's a freshman, but he's got a solid bat. He's good defense. He loves to play the game, and we might get to see him on the mound today as well, as he's a pitcher.
Well, we've talked about the keys to the game. We've also talked about the key players, and we're going to be right back with the player introductions right here from League Park.
It's that time again. Time to register your kids for summer camp at George L. Forbes. You must be a City of Cleveland resident between the ages of 9 and 13 and available for 1 free week of summer camp June through August. To register, bring proof of residency, age, and guardianship, up-to-date immunization records, and a copy of a physical to any City of Cleveland Recreation Center. For more info, call Camp Forbes at 216-263-5325. Again, that's 216-263-5325. And I'll see you at George L. Forbes this summer.
Historic League Park, CMSD Boys Championship Game player introduction time. We'll go to Edwin Santiago for the player introductions.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Cleveland's Historic League Park for 2019 CMSD Baseball Championship featuring Rhodes Rams and John Marshall Lawyers. Let's meet the John Marshall Lawyers. Freshman wearing number 8, Jacob Vielman. Freshman number 11, Anthony Rivera. Number 12 is the junior, Larry Walker. Freshman number 17, Adriel Cruz. Freshman number 23, Antonio Bagan. And starting, we're number 16, playing third base, senior Jeremiah Moreno. We're number 3 playing center field, senior James Woodfolk. Number 10 is the junior shortstop, Terry Harris. Number 18 playing first base, junior Rafael Baez. Senior catcher, number 5, Joel Martinez. Left fielder's a senior, number 14, Enai Veljak. Doing the pitching today, number 4, senior Alonzo Lopez. Batting in the 8th spot, right fielder, number 15, sophomore Anthony Ortiz. And the second baseman is number 1, sophomore Jovan Ortiz. Lawyers are coached by Ken Robinson, Ed Gates, and Mr. Floyd Moreno. James Rhodes Rams, senior, number 6, Wilfredo Rivera. Wearing number 11, junior Musa Zagari. Wearing number 12 is the junior Edward Block. Number 13, senior Louis Colon. Number 14 is a junior Lloyd Martin. Senior number 18, Ahmad Santos. Number 19 is a freshman, Jaden Hudson. We're at number 20, junior Jamie Carabello. And introducing the starting lineup, doing the catching, batting first, number 2, senior Alex Soto. First base is a freshman, number 17, Philip Kay. Doing the pitching, sophomore, number 15, Ricardo Flores. Playing third base, wearing number 3, senior Steven Tavares. Center fielder's number 10, a senior Josian Ortiz. Wearing number 8 in left field, senior Kyle Sizit. The shortstop's number 16, a junior Angel Chase. Second baseman, where's number 7? He's a senior Antonio Rivas. We're number 1, playing right field, senior Joey Brescianon. Rhodes coaches are Mr. Brian McHolland, Mr. Bill Myers, and Mr. Brandon Wolf. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time we ask that you rise and face the flag for the singing of our national anthem by senior at Cleveland School of the Arts, Ms. Jinlay Glover.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gay. And the
Shinley Glover from the Cleveland School of Arts. I think we got somebody that should be trying out for American Idol, Tom.
I think so.
Really sing it.
Yeah, she belted that out.
And obviously, we're going to be right away, moments away from our ceremonial first pitch. But first, we're going to take a look at the umpires that are going to be calling today's game. Colin, let's talk about the crew.
Okay, our crew, every umpire in the city of Cleveland is high school certified. You have to do that in order to do these games. At home plate is Joe Neroni, a graduate of St. Edward High School, 16 years an umpire. At first base, we have Rick Meadows, a graduate of Cleveland South, 11 years an umpire. Second base is Cripps Jacobs, 12 years as an umpire. At third base is Robert W., a graduate of John Hay, 1968, and a retired police officer.
And right now we're going to have our ceremonial first pitch. This will be Matt Cada from the Cleveland Indians. So again, Matt Cada from the Cleveland Indians. And again, a big, big sponsor, and they're the ones that saved this baseball program back in 1997, still doing today through Cleveland Indian Charities.
First base, Mr. Rick Meadows. Second base, Chris Jacobs. And our third base umpire is Mr. Robert Dudley.
So they'll have the meeting with the coaches at home plate, but while they do, we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the John Marshall Lawyers. Again, they'll be in red and white. They're the visiting team. As we mentioned to you earlier, they played them early before. It was 4-1, and now they're coming back, and it's for the championship. Leading off will be number 16, their third baseman, Jeremiah Marino. Batting second, the center fielder, James Woodfolk. Terry Harris, the shortstop, Ralphio Baez, Joel Martinez, N.E. Veljak in left. And the guy they're counting on the mound, Alonzo Lopez. He'll toss him in with Anthony Ortiz in right and Jovan Ortiz at second base. And Tom, when you talk about the defense, Rhodes takes a lot of pride in playing the defense.
Yeah, they sure do. And in the outfield, going across the outfield, we got Kyle Jest in left field, Josean Ortiz in center, and Joey Breshanen in left. Coming around the infield, Steven Tavares is at third, Angel Shaez is at short, Antonio Rivas is at second. Philip Kay is at first. Behind the plate is Alex Soto. And the MVP of the league on the mound, Ricardo Flores, will be throwing it today.
And earlier today, we had a chance to catch up to the Rhodes head coach, Ryan McCollum, to ask him his views on his starting pitcher today.
Hi, this is the coach for Rhodes Baseball. Today we have Ricardo Flores pitching for us today. It's a sophomore pitcher who just started to learn how to pitch this year. The keys for him are to keep the ball in the zone, not walk kids, and mix his curveball with his fastball. If he gets in trouble, Philip Kay, freshman, will come in and pitch for us.
So there you have it. And again, you can see as they're loosening up, they'll be on the mound here in a second. But, Tom, let's talk first of all, while we have a second, let's look at the coaches that are in the game today. Let's talk first of all about the John Marshall coach.
Ken Robeson, he's in his third year as a head coach. He's a 1990 grad of Berea, where he was the MVP for his team. He played basketball, football, and baseball there. He's also in the Hall of Fame of Berea High School, where he received numerous awards over his high school career.
You know, and when we talked to the coach beforehand, he told me, he said, listen, this is the least talented team I've had in a while. You only have 4 returning players. He's got a new catcher, second baseman, center field, which is like right up the middle, that we always say that's right. The strength. And that he would not be anywhere without his assistant coach. He praises him to the max, Floyd Marino, that really has helped him all season long in making this happen. And then when you look at the Rhodes coach, Brian McCollum.
Yeah, he's also in his third year as a head coach, and he's an 87 grad of Reynoldsburg High School. He was a center fielder in high school. He also played 4 years at Baldwin Wallace, and this Rhodes team of his has won the title the last 2 years.
And again, when you're talking about the teams in comparison, the Rhodes team comes in, Tom. Really, both of them have a number of seniors, but it seems like Rhodes they got a starting freshman out there, compared to the other teams.
Yeah, it's interesting when he was talking about his pitchers and how they have a sophomore starting and his first relief pitcher is going to be a freshman. You just always wonder how that's going to play out in a game like this. Not that they haven't played in big games throughout the year, but you always get a little worried that they're a little too amped up in some of these games, and it might help them actually a little bit that the game got rained out of Progressive Field and this here, because it takes away maybe a little bit of those nerves for those younger guys.
And you've coached in this game a number of years. I mean, what is it that the coaches are going to try to tell their kids before they get to start this ball game?
They're going to try to tell them. I don't know if they're going to listen, but they're going to try to tell them it's just another game against another team that you've already played against. But, you know, like I said, not being at Progressive Field, they might be able to convince them of a little more. But these kids have been amped up for this game for a long time. And the biggest thing that I was just talking to some people before the game about is, you know, I saw the pitchers warmed up about an hour ago. I mean, just not realizing what it's like in this game. The way, because they're not used to the televised part and the national anthem and the names being announced and all that.
And folks, we want to tell you that, first of all, if you are a senior, you're sure going to be relating to this as we talk about the history of League Park and where it all began. And, you know, I've looked at some of the notes, and they used to look through the knot holes back then. You know, Babe Ruth, his famous home run. You know, the Negro League played here, the Indians played here, and they've done a tremendous job of renovation. And this is a great year for the city of Cleveland and Cleveland in whole because of the Major League Baseball All-Star Game. And they've been out, the city of Cleveland, or the Cleveland Indians, as well as Major League Baseball, to bring in some new field renovations. Over at League Park, there'll be a synthetic turf field, or Luke Easter Park. They've done some renovation improvements here at League Park. And over at Brookside Park, where the Rhodes Rams play their home games on Talty Field, they didn't play there this year because it's been under renovation. But that will be another facility just like this, where it's going to be all synthetic turf playing in the field. And it's something you're going to really, folks, that they're going to enjoy for a long, long time. So our special thanks to all of them that really helped make this so much better. And when you talk to the Indians, they're like, hey, we're just trying to make sure that the kids get the best opportunities to enjoy the game that they love. And with Cleveland weather time, you can tell me how many times you guys have gone to the gym and said, okay, we're rained out again.
Right, and when I first heard that the Major League Baseball does that when the All-Star teams host, I just thought that was awesome, except for that I wish they would have done it back when I was coaching, so maybe we could have got some more games in, but it's fantastic that they're giving back to the kids.
So leading off for the John Marshall Warriors is their third baseman, Jeremiah Moreno. He's hitting .210 on the year. He's a 12th grader, a GPA of 3.8. And we, before the games today, we talked to each player to find out what their career ambitions are. So we'll be going through those as we go through today. And he goes right after the first pitch. Temperature, they're telling me it's going to get up to 70. I'm saying we're in the 60s right now with a little breeze.
I think we're lucky if we're at 60.
Yeah, I think they tried to get me here earlier to say, oh, it's going to be a beautiful warm day. And then I look at everybody and they got their hands in their pockets. So that tells me we're at 60. So just underway from League Park for the CMSD Championship. John Marshall in red, James Ford Rhodes in the blue. Rhodes won the previous matchup, and they'll try to repeat for the championship. Take one up high.
And I noticed in his warm-ups too, he was up high a few times. It might be those extra adrenaline pumping through.
Little surprise leadoff hitter jumping on the first pitch, Tom.
Yeah, I was, but like he probably was amped up too. He wanted to get up and do something early and get on these guys right away. But he must not have been watching him warm up because he was a little erratic during warm-ups too. And I think that's something that I didn't notice him watching. I'm not saying he wasn't, but it's something he could have picked up on.
Ground ball, third base, down the line. So a first base hit, he'll make the turn, but hold there. So the first man is on. And now it'll be up to James Woodfolk. the left-hand hitter, hitting .290 on the year. He loves Francisco Lindor. Gives you a little bit of that look. He's their center fielder, got some speed.
Yeah, you just wonder here early if Coach Robeson's going to try to lay down a bunt or steal or something just to get this offense going early.
There's the bunt. It's a good one. They call foul. Colin, that's got to be tough on an umpire when you're looking at a bunt like that and you're behind everybody trying to figure out if it hit him or not.
Exactly. You know, the umpire, he's got the best position. They call it the slot position. He can see anything. You'll see this umpire is on the left-handed batter. He's in the right-handed batter's box. That's he can see that, and he calls it from there.
So again, our home plate umpire, Joe Neroni. That one off the foot. He's going to move up. All the way to third. And they'll hold there. Now he's going to try to go. Well, that's our first damage when we talk about the bad backstop being way back.
And I think everything threw him off on that. The wild pitch, it bounced off his shin guard. He couldn't find it right away.
The kids are not used to playing on this big of a backstop, Tim. They play in the city of Cleveland. They're all short backstops.
Now, look, I don't think it hit him. I think it hit the umpire in the shoe. Look at it here.
Yeah, it hit him off the umpire.
Yep.
Right there.
And they were questioning whether or not he went. He did call it a strike, and he definitely went after it.
Is that why they keep that steel toe shoe?
Absolutely. Catch one on the toe. Kids are throwing 70, 75, 80 miles an hour. That'll get your attention there.
Ouch. Man on third, nobody out. Ricardo Flores. They're going to try to catch him napping.
You know, we talked about in pregame that Rhodes wanted to avoid the mistakes and just make the routine plays, and we already see it coming into play in the first inning where, you know, on a simple bunt attempt, advanced 2 bases with the same batter still up.
So adopt third strike.
And again, the routine play, Tim. Interesting that they were trying to even bunt with that, with 2 strikes on him.
You look at it right here.
Yeah, he just lost it and couldn't get the throw to first base on target because he didn't throw right away. He was worried about the kid on third, and he kind of just never reset his feet.
And I guess when you're looking at a catcher like Soto, and again, Soto's a senior, so he's got the experience. You're talking about, you know, making sure you keep an eye on the ball. I mean, obviously, as a catcher, you want to make sure you do the first thing right, and that's catch the pitch.
Yeah, and there could be a lot of things going through his head, you know, worrying about the backstop, worrying about...
they got him in the middle. They're going to throw down. And they call him out. Oh, my. He went halfway, stopped, and then wanted to try it again. Mortal sin, man. You're going, you keep going, right, Coach?
Right. If you're going to go, you may as well just take off. If you get caught, you get caught. They pitched out on him, and he swung through it.
So 1 down, caught stealing. And Terry Harris is the batter. Their shortstop. And he gets a base hit. So they get their second hit here in the first inning.
caught stealing hurts even more now. They'd have a nice big inning going here. Looked like he went up after a little bit higher fastball. He sure did. He went up and got it. Muscled it into center field.
Now batting is Rafael Baez. He's a sophomore. 3.3. He's got a little power. He's hit a couple home runs during the year. His career is like any other kid that plays this game. They say, hey, I want to be a Major League Baseball player.
Nothing wrong with that.
You got that right.
Set your goals high.
Better believe it.
It was all of our goals when we were little.
Big swing and miss. Again, the Baez coach had told me that he said he's very deceiving, but I like his bat. He's one of those guys who can really put the bat on the ball. They're keeping him close.
I'll tell you, Soto isn't afraid to throw the ball around back there, though. We've seen him throw to third, throw the first a couple times. Throws a runner out at second.
Again, you're looking at Flores still hanging tough. He only gave up the 1 run. And they did try to go this time. And he's out.
What a play. The catcher from his knees throws him out at second base. What a play.
Well, he got a late jump.
Yep.
Strike him out, throw him out.
Well, they're going to be aggressive. And you look at it here, Coach. There it is, like Colin said, right from the knees. And look at the throw. And they say he's out.
Yeah, he got a late jump, and it cost him.
Umpire was right in position for that one, so we don't have to see the replay, Tim.
I knew that we were going to be talking about umpires at some point today. Well, right now we want to take a look at the starting lineup for the Rhodes Rams, and a pretty good one at that. They've been able to score some runs all year. And again, you're talking about a team that can flat out hit and has had a good year with the bat. So when you're looking at the Rhodes Rams starting lineup, again, it is leading off with their catcher, number 2, Alex Soto. Again, he's hitting .296 on the year. Batting second is Philip Kay. And again, Philip Kay, .404. Ricardo Flores, the MVP of the league, he's hitting .500. Steven Tavares, hitting .458. He's batting 5th. 6 is Josan Ortiz, the center fielder. Kyle Ziss, the left fielder. Angel Chavez, the shortstop. Antonio Rivas at second. And Joel Bresnahan. He'll round it out with the starting lineup. But obviously, the biggest key that they talked about all week, can John Marshall defense and pitching hold up in a game like today? So let's take a look at the defense.
So here's what Coach Robeson's putting out there for the John Marshall Lawyers. He's got in left field Eni Valchek. In center field is James Woodfolk. Over in right field is Anthony Ortiz. Going around the infield, Jeremiah Moreno is at third base, one of our key players. Another key player, Terry Harris, is at shortstop. Over at second base, number 1, Jovan Ortiz. At first base, Rafael Baez. Catching today is Joel Martinez. And on the hill, number 4, the right-handed pitcher, Alonzo Lopez.
And again, we had a chance to catch up with the head coach from John Marshall to get his starting views of his pitcher today. And that was Alonzo Lopez.
Hi, this is Coach Ken Robinson for John Marshall. Our starting pitcher today is Alonzo Lopez. First thing he needs to do is throw strikes. Locate his pitches, mix them up between a changeup and his curveballs. He's had an outstanding year for us. He's really been probably our MVP. He's pitched our most important games and has come through in each one of those.
So you can feel a little bit of confidence there, Coach.
Yeah, it's always good when you can throw out, you know who you're going to throw out there, and you're not thinking about it going into the championship game, and it sure sounds like Coach Robinson's pretty confident in number 4 out there.
Now we got the inside scoop on this game. We found out that Mr. Robertson had this game when it was 4-1. Colin, do you remember if this young man pitched at that time?
He did pitch.
He did.
That's the best in a game I've had all year. It was a 4-1 loss. John Marshall, they played good defense, but they had a couple of errors here and there when it was, and Rhodes hit the ball, and a couple of errors hurt him. It was 4-1. Probably that's the best game I've had all year in the Senate.
So leading off is Alex Soto, 296 on the year.
This young man has one good curveball.
Gets ahead, 2 strikes. Takes one up high.
Now we'll see if Rhodes picks up on that, because as soon as you said that he throws a nice big curveball, after 2 fastballs, you saw him digging in his glove real hard.
Exactly.
And then came the curveball, so we'll see if they can pick up on that.
Yeah, little tips like that, Mr. Castleberry, you're exactly right.
Ball ripped foul.
But already we're seeing a difference between a sophomore and a senior being on the mound for the 2 teams, because first inning or top of the first inning, we saw a little bit of a struggle finding the zone, maybe a little too amped, where the senior comes out here and he's throwing out nothing but strikes.
There was that curveball they were talking about. So first person, 1 down. And now it'll be up to Philip Kay, the first baseman. He's hitting .404 on the year. Again, he's a freshman, but he's hitting over .400 on the season. There's the curveball strike.
The good thing about this year, he can throw that curveball for strikes. A lot of kids aren't used to seeing a curveball.
In my younger day, when I'd see a pitch like that come through, I used to always think, Tom, well, it just broke so good he missed it.
And the biggest thing is, I've noticed it's a huge change in his speed too, so it's going to keep him off balance all day, that's for sure.
Yeah, you got the off-speed curveball, and you got a nice fastball. We talked about a changeup. We haven't seen that yet.
Almost looks like he has 2 curveballs. One is a little bit of a faster, tighter one, and then he's got that big looper that he threw for the strikeout. But that big looper, he looks like that's the one he really digs in his glove. So we'll see how long it takes before Rhodes notices.
It's underneath it. They'll pop it up in the infield. And a nice job by the shortstop, Terry Harris. 2 down. Just underway from League Park. It's the CMSD championship game. You're looking at number 4. Again, Alonzo Lopez.
That's what you want your shortstop to do. Come in, take charge in that one that's kind of in between.
So batting third is Ricardo Flores, the MVP of the Senate. He's a sophomore. He is a Francisco Lindor man.
His name seems to be scattered all over our score sheet.
Got a nice swing. Now here's a guy that you talk about down and dirty, wants to become a mechanic.
I like it, man. That's where all the money's at. We got to pay people to do all that work for us.
Man, I'm telling you, I pay more money on car repairs. If you ain't getting a new one, you better figure you're going to put some money in the old one. Nice pitch. Nice job. A heck of a first inning for the Lawyers. So 3 up, 3 down. It is 1-0 here at the end of 1. We do want to remind you folks that as we go through today's, we're going to be talking about a lot of the stuff that Cleveland Indian Charities have done over the years. Again, the story of this is so everybody at home knows, is in 1997, the Cleveland School District that time I think it was called the municipal schools, was in a crisis where they were going to have to cut out spring sports. And the girls fast pitch and the boys baseball were eliminated at that point. And the Cleveland Indians reached out and said, wait a minute, let's see if we can help you to keep these kids playing. And ever since then, it's been that annual relationship where kids get to play both fast pitch and baseball through Cleveland Indian Charities. And again, they have their fundraisers just like anything. They just had a golf outing, and they had great success with that. And also a lot of the new players that come in, you know, in their contracts, they make a donation to CIC, so that they're always giving back in the community. And when you look at the Cleveland Indians, Colin, they're one of those organizations in town that really step up to help the kids.
That's exactly right. I don't think the community is aware of how much the Indians put in their time and effort as far as finances also to support these systems. They help with the RBI League immensely. That's kids play for free. They donate gloves. They do everything else in the city. The community needs to be aware of the importance of the Cleveland Indians donating in the community.
And again, when you're talking about first inning and trying to get underneath where we have right now, the Rhodes Rams basically had thrown 18 pitches in the first, 75% of them. And again, first pitch strikes. Again, John Marshall 13, and three batters up, all first pitch strikes. 76% of them are strikes. Now that's a good start. So leading off here now for John Marshall is Joel Martinez, their catcher. He's hitting .250 on the season.
Flores has been high with a lot of his pitches so far. He needs to kind of settle himself down and find the zone.
And it's an adjustment period. You're on the high mound, which you're not used to. You don't see a lot of that unless you're at this field or you're at a progressive field. So it takes a while. But once they get there, and you've seen that, Coach, a million times, got to remind them, Ben, get it down.
Yep, and again, being young and just that extra adrenaline, sometimes you forget about some of your mechanics and you're just trying to blow the ball by somebody with all these people and the cameras and everything else going on, and knowing that the city championship's on the line.
Again, our congratulations last week. The Rhodes Lady Rams captured the girls fast pitch championship game over the John Hay Lady Hornets. A lot of parental support here on a breezy, cool day, I will call it. Hits one back to the mound. Real simple throw. And one down. So now batting is Eni Veljak. Again, he is a 12th grader. And one of the things that's impressed me, 3.0 GPA. And Coach, look at what he wants to be. You got to help me here, Coach.
Hey, the soccer's big in over here on the west side schools. Wants to be that pro soccer player.
And I get it, he's a Tribe fan. I'm okay with that. But then he picks Aaron Judge.
Yeah, I've noticed a few of those guys say, yeah, I'm the fan of the Indians, but, and then they have somebody else.
How about those girls last week, Tim?
Oh.
The GPAs.
Oh, my gosh.
What they wanted to be. We couldn't pronounce half the things that they wanted to be.
Neurologists, you know, biomed engineer.
Exactly. Exactly.
So we got our first walk of the ball game. And now it's Alonzo Lopez. The pitcher is batting. And again, Alonzo Lopez, 3.8 league all-star.
And a different kind of judge here, Tim. He wants to be a judge.
Absolutely.
Oh, sorry, I'm not looking. He wants to be a welder.
Welder. But then the team he picked, they're the hottest team in baseball right now.
But so he picked the Astros, but he likes Carlos Carrasco as his favorite player.
One down, man on first. We're in the top of 2. Be surprised if Marshall keeps trying to run here.
The thing is, if they're going to run, they just got to run. I mean, I think both times they got thrown out, it was just indecision. They just didn't take off. It's not like it's a lefty pitcher. Just as soon as he lifts that foot, let's go.
Well, we know that people taking that lead, when they see somebody get thrown out, then they're kind of hesitant after that.
I don't know. My assistants used to get mad. I don't care how many times we got thrown out in these games. Just run to just try to put pressure on them. We didn't care. Bunt and run a whole game. Make them make mistakes.
I remember your games, Coach. You're exactly right. Run them into the ground.
Foul ball headed our way. Up in the stands. Somebody got one.
Scattered the crowd.
Yeah, when everybody has heads up, everybody ducks. They're not seeing where the ball is. Hit and run.
There's a base hit. So they got something going here. 2 on, 1 out. And now it's Anthony Ortiz.
And like we talked about here, Coach Robinson stayed aggressive, went with a hit and run there, and got his batter to take away some of the thinking. He knew he was swinging, got a guy running, and got another big inning going. And here's the one that wants to be a judge.
And Aaron Judge, and the Yank. Oh, come on.
You got to be nice, because if he's your judge one day.
Yeah, I know that. Well, I plan on staying out of those courtrooms as much as I can. I'm not surprised. I am not surprised that they tried to bunt here with him. He wanted those guys running and bunting at the same time. So they were trying to be aggressive, see if they could pull it off. Now Rhodes is looking for the bunt. There's no way they're going to cover third if that guy comes. Now they throw it behind him, and he's standing here. He hesitates. Now there's a throw at third, and he missed it. And he'll hold there. Oh, my. The Rhodes Rams, uncharacteristic with the errors.
And even after that, the base running mistake by Marshall, he overslid the base, but they got lucky that the ball got thrown away. A little surprised they still didn't think about bunting right there.
Yeah, there's 2 strikes. And he's counting on Ortiz to come through for him. And he's a sophomore.
We talked about making the routine plays, and we have seen the errors early on.
Are you surprised a little bit at Rhodes playing back here a little bit?
Yeah, it looks like they got the corners in, and the middle's kind of back. Maybe they're just trying to avoid a bigger inning. You're also going to get a little more of a quick hop to the middle infielders with this turf, but not a lot of speed at third. But yeah, I'm a little surprised.
So full count. Strike 3 called. Coach.
It's about all Coach Robinson didn't want to have happen.
Yeah.
He wanted him to at least do something there, make Rhodes make a play, put the ball in play somehow, some way.
Dude, bro, the language is off.
So now, Jovan Ortiz, he's a sophomore, 250 on the year. He's the second baseman.
This could be huge for Flores, though, if he can work around the mistakes here and get out of this inning with no runs.
I was kind of shocked when we talked to Jovan and he said he wanted to be an NBA player. You know, usually there's some quick guys there, but, you know, usually they're about 6'6", 6'8" at this point when they start talking about basketball.
I've never seen him play before, but he's going to probably need somewhat of a growth spurt.
They'd love to get him on. Then you go back to the top of the order. Jeremy Marino on deck. He singled and scored his last time up. Ground ball back to the pitcher. And he threw it away. Oh my! Huge mistake.
And that's why you just want to have your guy put the ball in play. And that's pretty much all he did, right back to the mound. It looked like he did everything right. He squared himself up, took his time. He might have gripped the ball a little too tight or something. I don't know, but they really need to talk him back down now because he's squatting down on the mound out there. He's really upset with himself. He knew he just worked himself out of that inning. Did a great job pitching. It's probably why Coach came out there, just to settle him down and remind him there's a long way to go. It's only 3 runs.
So now batting is the top of the order. Jeremiah Marino, he singled and scored his first time up. Again, 310 on the year. League All-Star, 3.8 grade point average. Loves the game of baseball. And this one got by him. They're trying to tell him they can't find the ball. Holy Samoly.
This is something we are not used to seeing. Rhodes really looks rattled right now. And
it's not the norm.
No, it's not. And you got young players in key positions. You need somebody to be that leader and just step up and calm everybody down and relax. You don't want to start getting too far behind in your emotions more than the score. You start seeing those droop shoulders, it's going to be hard to come back from. Somebody's got to step up and say, we got this, we're all right.
This is where you're looking for your young guy out there just to kind of throw strikes, keep battling. And that's what he's doing right there. A nice job as he came back and got Marino. But the John Marshall team comes up with 3 unearned runs. They only had a hit and they had to walk. But it is now 4-0 John Marshall. Folks, we'll be back with more of CMSD Championship action.
Find out who stole the Kishka on the Polka Train with host Don Gorski. 7 days a week at 5:30 p.m. and 6:30 a.m. Only right here on TV20. We are Cleveland.
Welcome back to League Park. where you're looking at the Rhodes Rams and John Marshall Lawyers. And batting for Rhodes right now is Steven Tavares, their third baseman. 458 on the year.
And in between innings, you saw Rhodes kind of huddle up there. I'm sure they're just saying, look, let's just one inning at a time, get a run or two here. You don't have to try to get all 4 runs back right now. It's only the second inning.
Ground ball. Over to first. In time. And a nice job by Marino, 2 by Eds for out number 1 here in the bottom of the second.
And that's what you want if you're Marshall. Come up there, throw strikes. Low, keep the pitch count low. Get that first out of the inning after you just had a big inning.
So now batting is Josan Ortiz, the center fielder. Number 10. Foul ball.
I can't hear you, Tim. All right.
And Lopez is just going up there throwing strikes. It's exactly what Robinson wants. Let his guys play D behind. They're still excited. They want them right up there and ready to go. They don't want to be sitting back on their heels.
So 1 strike, 1 down, up high, 1-1. I'm going to keep relying on Colin to show us the count since our scoreboard is not with it right now.
Well, the good news is the wind's picking it up and cooling things off a little bit.
One-two count. He's ahead of the hitter.
2-2 count.
2-2. Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
He's digging.
There's the curveball.
Yeah, somebody on that bench. That's where the bench plays a huge role right there. Is somebody's got to be looking at that and just notice that every time he's digging at that glove, the curveball's coming. It's going to give them an advantage here and know what to look for. Because right now they are definitely off balance.
That's his 3rd strikeout here in the ball game. We're only in the bottom of 2, and it'll be up to Kyle Zist. Again, their left fielder, a senior. Good 3.7 GPA.
Now I'll tell you the big difference we're seeing from the two sides is Lopez is hitting his spots. I mean, that catcher wanted the ball up around the letters. He didn't even have to move his glove. It was right there. After that slow curveball, the pitch before, he just couldn't catch up to it.
Try it out. You have to have your mic down now so it gets on.
I tell you, one of the keys is, and every umpire would tell you this, if I'm right, Colin, if you got a pitcher out there that's throwing strikes and getting ahead of the hitters, you're pretty much in for a good day.
Absolutely, Tim. That improves the game 100%, and this young man is throwing strikes.
Pop up, gonna go foul. I hope that wasn't my car over there.
It probably was, Tim. 2 strikes on the batter.
Kind of been a theme over the first 6 batters here, but he's ahead in the count.
So we're in the bottom of 2. And again, these 2 teams met earlier in the year. It was the other way around.
Just the opposite of what I saw. John Marshall made the errors. There's the slow curve.
Another strikeout. So 3 up, 3 down. That's been the issue with the Rhodes Rams. So we will go to the top of the 3rd inning. And again, you're talking about two teams that have been to championship games before. More the Rhodes Rams for consecutive years. They're the defending champ.
Warriors 4, Rams 0.
For years, Marshall was always right in the mix of things. I know my first couple years, they were the team that everybody was trying to knock off.
Again, Cleveland Indian Charities. Again, you can see them on the Cleveland Indians website. Rebecca Kodich is their executive director, and they do more than what we're talking about just today. Not only just with CMSDs, they have partners with the Cleveland Baseball Federation in the city of Cleveland and helping the kids play during the summer months and being supportive of baseball. And they're trying also to have some components of life skill workshops that are now being put together. And they run the RBI program in the summertime through the Cleveland Baseball Federation. And a lot of these kids that we see here today, some of them will play in the summer with the RBI team. They've got to make it. They'll have tryouts, but they'll play in the leagues during the summer months. So,
can you tell them how many kids they help out during the summer, Tim?
It's over 2,500 that are involved in just the Cleveland youth leagues in the Cleveland Recreation and CBF program. And again, that's from a T-baller to a senior citizen, seniors 18 years old. Again, that's we have a youth 9 to 12, 13 to 15, 16 to 18. So a lot of these kids can improve upon their skills during the summer months. Again, John Marshall, 83% on first pitch strikes, 75 are strikes. On the other side, it's 55 first pitch strikes, 53 there. So again, you're talking about that early
it really has been the difference so far, is just the pitchers throwing strikes, making the routine plays, and all the keys we talked about in pregame. It's just happened to be going Marshall's way so far.
So leading off is James Woodfolk. His first time up. He actually struck out but reached first base on an error by the catcher, but then was thrown out stealing. It seems like the Rhodes pitcher's starting to settle in a little bit, Tom.
Yeah, his ball, even towards the end of last thing, you saw it starting to get lower in the strike zone. He's not finishing up high anymore. And that's what I said. If he can just kind of compose himself, although his pitch count's going to get up there, but just keeping the team in the game until the offense can figure out that Lopez's pitches.
So he took one looking, tagged by the catcher Soto. So one down. And John Marshall has struck out 5 times with this pitcher. So strikeout-wise, they're matching up pretty good. And now it'll be Terry Harris who singled his first time up. He's a junior.
Yeah, his first time up, he muscled that high fastball right up the middle for a base hit.
He got a hold of one, and he got it by him. He'll hit first, round 2, and hold right there. A 2-base hit for Terry Harris.
But I've been noticing the outfield's been playing a little shallow and wonder if any team was going to get one out there and over their heads, and it looks like finally they did. And that wind's blowing out too, so that heavy breeze we see, I'm looking at the flag in center, it's really blowing out. And it was the difference because it was just over his glove.
So now Rafael Baez, their first baseman, he struck out the first time up. He'll take one down low. You know, this reminds me of, I'm just thinking about, you know, Collins keeping account for us now. I used to hate that when I'd have to go to the ump. What's the count? What's the count?
Most umpires behind home plate after every pitch will give you the count on their fingers.
But most of us coaches don't pay attention until we need to know.
Yeah.
I see more and more coaches this year having indicators in their hand. Now they're using tablets.
All right. 2-0 count. There's the pitch. They're going to throw down, and they made the throw. It's going to cost them another run.
I was about to say I was surprised the infield wasn't in, but it didn't matter. We said earlier that Soto likes to throw the ball and try to get people, and he had him, but the ball was just barely offline, and Tavares couldn't scoop it at third, and it cost him another run. And outside of the errors, I'm a little more worried about what I saw after that play. You saw a few of the players bend down to their knees in the field, and there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to bounce back. There's still a long way to go in this game, and got to put pressure on them. You can't give up yet.
All 4. There's the walk. Now it'll be up to Joel Martinez, the catcher. He grounded back to the pitcher his first time up. He's a senior. 3.3 GPA. See good grades like that, you're on the right track. Blocks it, keeps it in front. He's going to get into second.
Yeah, he did a really nice job there on that one, just blocking and keeping in front, but I think it bounced off his shin guard or something because it kicked away from him pretty good. Enough for Baez to get to second base. Just everything's bouncing Marshall's way.
So the count?
2-1.
Needs to make a good pitch right here. Settle down. Fouls one back. Got a big crowd here for a 1 o'clock afternoon.
Absolutely. You know, like last week at Cleveland State, the same thing. The parents are coming out, the kids are coming out. It's unbelievable. That's what it's all about.
I'll tell you one thing. That catcher loves to throw the ball, Coach.
No, he's not afraid.
As long as he makes the good throw, you're okay.
Right, but what I do like is he's not afraid that there's been a couple errors. That's his game. He's gonna keep doing. I haven't seen him all year, obviously, but obviously that's in his game. But they're gonna need to start making some of the routine plays like their coach wants them to.
And when you go back and look at the keys for the Rhodes team, and what they were trying to say before the game, what they needed to do. You know, you look at him now, Coach, everything that he said that we needed to do, they have not been able to do so far.
Yeah, he wanted to score early. They haven't scored. He wanted to limit the walks. They've been walking people. They wanted to stay away from the big inning. We just had one last inning, and the biggest one we said was make the routine plays, and we've seen pass balls, wild pitches, ground balls back to pitchers thrown away, and, you know, they just need to calm down, and now they're in a first and third situation here. I think you just got to eat it. This tends to snowball sometimes. You know, they went undefeated in the league. They've won the championship the past few years. They've got the advantage. Marshall hasn't been in it in a while, so they have guys that are inexperienced in this game, and they've got to find a way to kind of stick with it. But it's weird how it happens sometimes when the underdog, so to say, gets a little momentum and it's hard to stop. I feel like my best team I ever had, probably Lincoln West. We got smoked in the championship game, and probably my weakest team to ever make it to the championship game, we beat Rhodes. So it's just one of those days so
Was
far.
that at the stadium, Coach?
Yes.
Yep. Yep, I remember that.
Marshall just seems looser.
Yeah, they just everything, they've got exactly what they want. They got the lead, they got the guy throwing strikes, they're making the plays. They put it all together today.
1 and 2 on the batter.
And I haven't seen Marshall all year, but I do know Coach Robeson. I know he's kind of usually a laid-back kind of guy, and they're just kind of following his lead in that. And in a big game like this, sometimes that's the biggest thing, is just to be kind of relaxed and laid back.
So 1 out, 2nd and 3rd. So 2 down. And now Alonzo Lopez not only has done it on the mound, he's also singled and scored at the plate. And he comes up with 2 guys on to help his cause.
And that strikeout was huge, too, because they had the middle infield back again. So any ground ball up there would have scored another run. So now they can play back and just try to get the out. I think Baez.
You got ahead of him right here, Colin, right?
1 and 1, Tim.
All right.
But Baez on third needs to not be sprinting back to the base so far, because they're not really backing up the pitcher on the throws. And if that ball skips away, maybe get a cheap run here.
Well, there's 2 outs. This could be key here. Come up and get this out.
Just like last inning, he got out of the inning. But not in time. There it is.
Another pass ball, another run.
And
they almost didn't get that because Baez was on his way back to third again. And luckily for Marshall, it got away enough that he was able to scoot home.
I'm wondering back, well, I know we weren't around, but I'm wondering, Coach, was that backstop that far back when it was League Park back then?
Yeah, I definitely wasn't around for that, but.
Oh, he got it all. He's going to drive it to the gap. He'll hit second. He's going to go to third. And they're going to bring him, and here comes the throw. He's in there. Oh, is the Marshall Lawyers on fire.
He definitely got a hold of this one. Found a gap, but they should have limited it to a double or a triple at worst, and the throw just got away on the
they missed
relay.
the cutoff
missed
here.
the cutoff, and another error cost them an extra run. Nobody was backing up the cut either, so there was nobody there. It was kind of a mental error and a physical error there, and they'll only get charged with one error, but it cost them a run. If you're Ortiz here, though, at the plate, you got to step out and maybe tie your shoes or something. Let your pitcher catch his breath a minute. Don't make the third out here and make him have to go right back out to the mound after running those bases.
big difference here. When they hit the outfield, it bounces on the rubber. It's gone.
Now I know why they wanted that natural grass. Slow it down a little bit.
Well, the grass has grown about 6 inches in the last couple of weeks. That'll slow anything down if they can find it.
This spring has been definitely one of the worst when it comes to rain. Cancellation of games, grass growing, you can't even get out. Cutters get stuck in the grass, gets so wet.
Yep.
We got like 3 days of dry weather. I was like elated.
What was that bright light in the sky? Oh, that was the sun, right?
Yeah, I said like, oh my Lord, is this true? Thank you, Jesus.
Full count.
I'm surprised we haven't seen the action over there on the roadside.
Yeah.
Warming anybody up, and his pitch count's getting up there. He just doesn't have it all today. He hasn't pitched poorly. He's just the defense has not been on point. But
well, the first thing when you're going to Progressive Field, and even here at League Park, the first thing I want to know from the coaches: do you have a catcher that can block the ball? You know, because you know Tom as well as I do. If you ain't got nobody that can block the ball, you're in trouble.
And I think they felt pretty confident in Soto. What I saw, I mean, a lot of the stuff he's doing a good job of blocking. It's just, it seems like some of the pitches that he doesn't need to block have been an issue today. I don't know if he's just so focused on wanting to drop his body, and he's just thinking about that. But I've noticed a couple of the past balls have been more on pitches that, you know, maybe Flores just missed the wrong side of the plate on his spots. And nice pitch there, though.
So Anthony Ortiz strikes out the side, but they get 4 more runs to extend that lead to 8-0. And you look at it right here.
He broke that off nice.
Oh, that was sweet. Boy, when an umpire sees that ball coming in, you can't ask for anything better than that, Mr. Colin Robertson.
What's that, Tim?
That pitch was a beautiful strike.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, anytime the umpire calls it a strike, Colin always tells him that was a great strike. He made a great
you're one
call
out closer to going home. That's the way we look at it.
Well, folks, we want to talk about our congratulations to some of the CMSD schools this year, all the ones that won their sport championships over the year, and there were some great ones. If you remember on TV20, just a few weeks ago, we had the CMSD championship, the girls and the boys over at East Tech. And did they bring the house down over there with that boys game going into overtime? What an amazing story. They also have some champions in the fall sports with John Marshall winning the girls tennis, Rhodes winning both cross country. Lincoln West had the golfers. And again, Rhodes with the soccer and the volleyball. Swimming, it's Bard College and Lincoln West. The wrestling was John Marshall. The indoor track season, John Hay girls, Glenville boys. Outdoor track, same two, John Hay and the Glenville boys. Again, congratulations to all those CMSD champions from the 2018 and 19 season. And I get, you know, a lot of things, Coach, and I'd like you to talk about because you were coaching the schools. A lot of people don't realize the commitment that student athletes make once they do there, as far as all the other pressures of keeping your grades up, taking things care of home. It's a lot on their plate.
It really is, and a lot of the schools now have gone to these small schools within the school. So I know, like, you know, I'm still involved with cross country up at Lincoln West, and, you know, we have kids coming from 3 different levels of the building. So the one school might be doing something, you know, different, and the other school has a different schedule, and one gets out at 3:40 and one gets out at 3:50, and they got to run and try to get to practice and take care of their grades, but still want to be involved in some of the things that the small schools are trying to do. And, you know, to be committed to do all that and committed to the practice and still keep up everything. And a lot of these kids are trying to help out at home, getting a job, help their families out, knowing that most of them aren't going to go on to, you know, have a chance at professional baseball.
There's Angel Chavez with a base hit for the Rhodes Rams. So they get their first hit.
Maybe a little spark to get him going here, and he didn't try to do too much, and there's no 8-run homers out there. He just took the pitch where it was and hit it to the right side.
So we're looking at Jordi De La Pena. Pops one back. You know, I've heard some coaches talk and ADs. They said, you know, it seems like more and more that the seniors and juniors, they all gotta work to help pay some of the bills at home, and if they want to go to prom or they want to get something, they got to go out and work and get that, and then they're trying to play, and then you're trying to get an education.
Yeah, it's hard on the players, it's hard on the coaches, it's hard. It's just, you got to balance it all, and you don't want to tell the kids they can't go do it, but they got to be a practice if you want them to play for you. So it's a juggling act for everybody.
You start throwing the ball around.
They're still being aggressive, down 8-0, still stealing bases.
So the stolen base puts a runner in scoring position.
They're still playing their game. Their game is to be aggressive, and he stole that easily.
Got to get a spark going here. You're right, Coach.
So this is Antonio Rivas, and he got a hold of one. Will it stay fair?
Fair ball.
It is. Rhodes is on the board. He'll hit second, and he'll go to third. He may try to come all the way. Coach is sending him. Here's the throw. He's in there. A home run for Antonio Rivas.
It's a spark they needed. He just turned it through his hands. He barely even finished that swing, but man, he hit it in a perfect spot right down the line, right on the line, and that's a big outfield out there. And like we said, they've been playing in, and that thing just rolled and rolled and rolled on this turf, and it didn't hurt that that Velchak kind of slipped and fell in the outfield there before he could get the ball in. Yep, they're starting to time him up now.
Here's another one, base hit. He'll round and hold there. And that's Joey Bresnahan. That's the bottom of the order. They're banging the ball around.
You know, and you just wonder too if they're after that big inning, and if Lopez was a little tired after running around and when he had that triple and scored, or maybe somebody finally noticed that when he digs it's a fast or it's a curveball and he doesn't, it's a fastball, and they're just sitting back and timing up that fastball. Now who knows? Let's not forget they weren't undefeated for no reason. So.
Well, they got a ways to go, but they're in there swinging.
A slow curve.
He pulled it on that one. He was way out in front.
This is Alex Soto, their leadoff batter. Pops this one straight up. Marino calls for it and makes the catch. So that's the first out in the bottom of the third.
The nice thing you saw in Lopez was it didn't really rattle him. They scored a couple runs. He just came right back. 3 strikes, stuck with what got him here so far.
So Philip Kay, he popped out to short his first time up. And he got him out in front and popped one up again.
Oh.
That was trouble from the get-go right there. That thing was all over the place. You kind of wish
that's
on
the
that
toughest one to catch as a catcher.
Yeah, you kind of wish Moreno would have just come in and taken charge of that one.
Opposite spin on the ball when it's fouled off like that.
Yeah, you just heard his coach yell out there that they wanted a little help from Moreno over there at third, but that was kind of in no man's land.
Can we try the settings?
I have no idea what he did.
You know, it looks like Lopez may have twisted his ankle or something here. He's kind of limping around a little bit. I don't know if he
is.
Slipped out there. You know, a lot of these kids have to wear their tennis shoes because you can't wear the cleats on this field. No metal cleats, and most of them have the metal cleats. And
exactly.
They don't have a second pair of shoes just to play on turf like the majors would, major league players would be wearing. But
a lot of strict rules for this field. No chewing seeds. You can't drink on the field. You got a good field to take care of, and they have. Here comes the trainer out.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything, but it looks like he's saying that maybe he slipped a little bit. It looks like maybe it was his back or his leg.
Think of his knee, maybe.
But I know when we played here a few years ago, our guys, some of our guys were having trouble, especially on that mound with all that wear and tear.
Yep.
And they just slip a little bit when they got those tennis shoes on. And
ground ball to the second baseman. So they get the one out on the fielder's choice.
Get the lead runner at all times. Good play by the second baseman.
Ricardo Flores. Here's a great chance for him to help himself. Pretty good hitter on the season. He's had a great year with the bat. See, he can put something in play right here. There's the big swing.
Martinez took one off the
helmet
there on the backswing there.
Oh, my Lord.
You see him rock a little bit
Even
there.
with over this crowd and over our headphones, I heard that one. And I'll tell you, Lopez may have pulled something before, but he's also pulled the string in those last two pitches. He has had him way out in front on this.
Well, folks, you can hear that we're right next to the Marshall folks, and they're excited. But that one is hit hard into the corner. Here comes one run. He'll go into second with a two-base hit and an RBI.
I don't know if anyone was paying attention, but yeah, he missed first base. So I don't know if anybody was watching that. But
we'll see it, Coach. We'll see if they did.
I don't know if anybody else saw it, but we just happened to have a perfect angle. And but he definitely got on that pitch right there, and with the runner going, he's going to score easily. And he turned on that real nice, and it's good to see after he's been having a rough time on the mound. He stayed with his game and.
8-3. And now, Steven Tavares. He grounded out to third his last time, and he'll take one in for a strike.
Still throwing that curveball.
I really like Lopez. I mean, it doesn't seem rattled by anything.
Nope.
Gave up a couple runs, hurt himself, and he's out there.
And he immediately gets ahead of him, 0-2.
Will he go to his pitch? It's going to be a tough play here.
He's in there, base hit.
That was a tough play. Right in the middle. Shortstop can't get there. Second baseman got there.
Yeah, that's just, you're not going to be able to make that play. I was just hitting the exact right spot. Things are starting to go Rhodes' way here.
Bring out the sun. They're just like the Tribe, a little bit of heat.
The other guy.
Got by him. There's going to be another run.
Maybe two.
And then there's a guy around, and he may try to go it too. So now there's 4 runs in.
Well, the things that were hurting Rhodes earlier are now starting to hurt Marshall. You see a wild pitch. The difference is, what I like to see there is Martinez went out, talked to his pitcher, kind of said, all right, let's just relax, let's regroup. We still got the lead. Let's just get through this inning here.
We got 8-4.
2 outs.
8-4.
This is where you got to settle down, come up with the play. You got a hold of it. They hit that one far. There's a 2-base hit.
Rhodes is right back in this, and almost a nice play in right center here. I mean, that ball was hit a long way with that wind carrying it. It was kind of tailing away from Ortiz in right field. I thought he was going to make the play, and it just went right off the end of his glove. He almost had it.
So 8-5. You're looking at it here. Coach, good decision here. Come out, settling down. On deck is Kyle Zist. Just for a coach's standpoint, when we start thinking about pitches, John Marshall's right around 60 pitches. And Rhodes, pitcher coming out of last inning, had 65. So it's kind of paling out here a little bit.
And for the first time today, we kind of see Marshall a little bit rattled. Everybody's on the mound there trying to get them all settled back together. And we're not even halfway through this game. They're just going to have to relax, and it's a long way to go.
Those players are sitting back waiting on that curveball.
It's called the Tom Castleberry theory. Lay off the curve and wait for the fastball. He's coming for you.
And you start to wonder, maybe they did pick up on his digging in the glove now, because all of a sudden this inning they seem to have timed it up.
Exactly. They're sitting back waiting. 3-1, Tim.
No action on the Marshall side in the bullpen. Of course, I think there are relief pitchers in the field right now. So
there he goes.
Hey, you normally don't like to see that with 2 outs trying to steal third, but he'd been bouncing. Nobody was paying attention to him the past couple pitches. And
so if you ask the Rhodes what the doctor need to order, he got it. They're batting around. The guy that started this whole thing off, Angel Shaez. He singled and scored the top of this.
Messing up my score sheet, though, Tim.
I understand, Coach.
A base hit here is going to mess up Marshall's head a little bit, too. They're going to right Rhodes will be right back in this thing.
He's losing that focus, the composure that we saw.
So a long inning for him. And I'd like to go back to that again, right? He was the second last batter of the last half inning where he hit that triple with the air and he had to run around the bases. You know, you wonder sometimes that messes you up a little bit.
Pop straight up.
Somebody's got to help him. That's playable. Yeah, he's got to lose his mask there, and people got to help him out.
A lot of space back there.
Yep, they are not used to this big backstop at all.
The winds are stirring. The Lawyers crowd has quieted, and Rhodes has been putting the bat on the ball.
Well, they really are timing them up too. We're being for one of the higher scoring championship games in recent memory.
The pitch. Strike 3. Needs to make the good throw and does, but that ends the inning. But the Rhodes Rams come up with 5 runs on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits. And it's right now 8-5. And you look at it right here. There's the curveball. He swung for it.
And at least he got out of there quick, make the throw, but he made a good throw and got out of the inning.
As we move to the top of the 4th inning, Rhodes Rams 5, Marshall Lawyers 8.
Well, folks, we'll be right back with some more CMSD baseball action.
Car crashes, accidents. We're telling you why be next. So listen to us. Don't drive and text.
Keep Cleveland safe and do not text when you drive.
Welcome back to League Park. You've been watching the Cleveland Metropolitan School District Baseball Championship between the Rhodes Rams in the blue and white and John Marshall in red and white. You see it, 8-5, and they're putting the ball in play. We got a new pitcher for Rhodes on the Philip Kay is the new pitcher. Again, he's a freshman.
Then I like Ortiz being aggressive there. You got to figure the freshman coming in just going to want to throw a fastball to get over the plate. I don't know if they talked about it, but he didn't waste any time. Just nice short stroke and just put the ball in play.
And again, when you go back and look at Ricardo Flores' work, he had 6 strikeouts through 61 pitches for strikes. 43% were fast first pitch strikes, and he had a total of 84 total pitches. And he also had 6 strikeouts. So he put in a day's work there. And John Marshall's done a nice job as well. Again, 64% strike, 66 first pitch, 67 total pitches. And he also had 5 strikeouts going into this point.
It looks like Marshall might have a chance if they want to run on this kid, Kay. He has an interesting, comes to set. He's kind of wide, but then when he comes to the plate, he brings his foot back. Yep. Give him a little extra time to run there.
So we're in the top of 4. John Marshall leads by 2. There's the swing and miss. So the first out is Moreno. Jovan Ortiz is on first base with the base hit. There's the throw. He got him. Caught stealing.
I think he's hurt coming back.
He looked like he might have pulled something sliding in, but
yep.
From his knees again.
From his knees again. Nice what throw. An arm.
I didn't see him do anything, but.
Do we need replay on that, or the umpire right on top of it?
Ump's always right.
Great call.
We'll let you know when we're going to get that play.
You will.
I will definitely keep you up to speed.
I'll bet you will. I've never thrown out of an announcer, so work on it.
Look at it here, folks. Did he get it right?
Yep. Bad angle.
Bad angle, but from that angle, I don't know. He might have been there. Tried to foul one off. Laid down a bunt. Again, you're looking at James Woodfolk. He's had a tough day at the plate so far. Trying to get something going for the Lawyers.
Not sure what Coach wants to know here. I think he's questioning the count. I think he thought there were already 2 strikes when he just fouled that off.
I've got 2 and 2.
2-2.
I think what he's questioning is on the steal, was it a strike? If it was, that would have made an extra strike. I didn't think back on looking back at the replay on when we looked at that.
2-2.
See, Colin brings up the umpire, and the first thing we did, we get a meeting with the coach
Way
and the
to go,
umpires.
Tim.
But that's exactly what he's saying right now. He just said when he threw him out, he said he thought he offered at it.
What's that phrase, Tom, you always say? The umpires are always right?
Always right.
Oh, now see, he goes back in the dugout and throws his clipboard.
See, I would never do that, Coach. Those clipboards are too expensive. I don't want to replace them. Still bunt with 2 strikes.
Here's the bunt. The throw. He's out. A nice play by Philip Kay.
That's what Rhodes needed after they got the big inning.
So 1, 2, 3. They did it in a roundabout way.
Yeah, he came up the mound, made a nice play, bang, bang at first. Coach Gates was calling for him to be safe, but I think he got him by half a step.
Coach always calls safe. Think you're going to influence the umpire.
Well, they always want to give you a little help. I mean,
absolutely.
It's expected, you know. But as we come to this inning, first of all, we want to say a special congratulations to the Cleveland Metropolitan School District's MVPs. Both of them are from James Ford Rhodes. In the girls' softball, the MVP was Annalise Metro. And on the boys' baseball side, it was Ricardo Flores. Congratulations to those two for their outstanding season on the program this year. So 8-5, if I have it right, and we are in the bottom of 4, and it is a chilly and cloudy day. What happened to the sunshine?
We're down closer to that 50 degrees than 60. I'll tell you that right now.
Wind chill factor is -4.
And for the ones that are watching this and are thinking about getting their son or daughter into a program this summer, you can always contact the Cleveland Division of Recreation. If you have a pencil and pen, write this down right now. We'll put it on the screen for you. The girls fast pitch, if you're interested in girls fast pitch, again, 16 to 18, please pick up the phone right now and call 664-2014. If it's regarding baseball, please pick up the phone right now regarding baseball sign up, and that number is 664-2346. So again, Philip Kay comes out. Not a bad job. 1 strikeout. Hey, 72% strikes.
Coach Robinson staying with his man. Now he's going with this horse here and keeping Lopez out there. It's always the tough decision to make in these championship games is when do you want to, how long can you stick with the guy that you know is the guy that you want out there, and when is he done? I can't imagine he's got too much left in the tank, but.
There's the swing and miss. Antonio Rivas. His last time up, he hit one in the gap, and it rolled, not in the gap, down the line.
That curveball.
And took it all the way around for the home run. I'm going to pop this up. Shortstop calls for it, makes the play.
That's big for Lopez. Kind of settled down after that last innings. Pitch count getting up there.
So now batting is Joey Brejahan. He's singled. And he'll take the strike.
I'll tell you, still got that curveball working now.
Ground ball to the shortstop, off the chest. I don't even think if he got it cleanly, he would have been able to throw him out.
Yeah, he tried to get his body all the way in front, and I think he just had to, if you want to make the play there, he's going to have to backhand and just kind of plant and throw all in one motion.
So we got a runner on. We're back to the top of the order, and it's Alex Soto. Man, would he like to have a nice hit. Ground ball, base hit. 2 on, nobody out. 1 out.
1 down.
They are knocking on the door, and now it's Philip Kay, the relief pitcher that's now pitching. He has popped out, and he is hit into a fielder's choice.
Hey, Tim, we're in that infamous play, the infield fly rule.
Oh, yeah. we will not pick on our Michelle again.
There we go again.
Base hit through the hole. They're going to hold him right there. So now you got the bases loaded.
And I didn't notice anyone warming up between innings or while they're batting, so this might be all on Lopez right here.
And now Ricardo Flores, who doubled down the right field line. And there's the big swing. He's not thinking double right now, Coach.
He wanted to take the lead on that pitch, I think.
Let me put us ahead. That's what I'm here for. Give me the bat. You can tell the RBI hitters. They just chomp it at the bit to get out there and swing.
You know, and Marshall needs to be careful, too. They don't give a cheap run here. Nobody's back up the pitcher. Everybody's a little bit tight from the bases being loaded here.
He's anxious. He's ready to go. 500 on the season. Lindor, sophomore. Big swing, ground ball, and he missed it. Oh, my. Oh, my. So an error on the first baseman. That hurt. Bresnan comes in to score. It is now 8-6. Still bases loaded, still 1 out. And now it's Steven Terrares.
Yeah, and you just could see here, he tried to rush himself, and he really didn't have to. They weren't going to turn a double play. Just get the nice big hop for him. All he had to do was just flick it to home plate, but I think he was just rushing.
He put one out there, and it's in the gap.
It's going to clear him.
1 run is in. 2 runs are in. 3 runs are in, and it's a 3-base hit for Steven Terrares.
Now it's the Rhodes fans' turn to
all the way back.
I don't know. Watch the third base coach. He's so excited he falls down on the play.
Yeah, he did. I never pulled that one off before, but he hit that in the perfect spot, and
There
they
goes the
definitely
coach.
timed up Lopez
Nope, they
there.
didn't show it. Coach goes down.
So now it is 9-8. The Rhodes Rams have come all the way back.
Now you're starting to see some of that doubt creep in on Marshall's side. Now the question is, will they bring their infield in? We saw Rhodes not do it before. I guess he knew they had some runs left in him.
I think we got the first baseman. He's on the nope. He's going back.
So here we are, man on third, one down. You're looking at it. They've come all the way back.
There they come.
Josan Ortiz, the center fielder.
Ain't getting that.
Ortiz struck out and doubled. Trying to get the bat on the ball. Way outside.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Is that they call the infamous waste pitch? Let's see if he'll go for it.
He wasted a little too much there.
Foul ball.
Just got a piece of it. Alonso Lopez, number 4 on the mound, would love to pick up a strikeout here. Marshall's playing up and in, trying to cut it off right here. I gotta believe that we're gonna be in double digits scoring here, Coach, before we're done.
Yeah, I find it hard to believe we won't.
Down low. Showing a little patience. 2-2. Fouls that off.
Slow curveball.
Yeah, I think this is going to go down as at least my memory, which might not be the greatest, but it's the highest scoring championship game.
Absolutely.
I think my first year we were in, it was like 11-7 when we played Marshall, but I think they're going to take this.
Full count.
Does he have the guts to throw it? I'd throw it again. I'd throw the curveball.
Absolutely. Popped up.
That could have been a disaster. Somebody's got to call that ball.
Yep, second baseman came up with the catch. So
huge second out there.
Better believe it. Keeping it in the infield, second out. Now you're coming to Kyle Zist, who has walked and Cade. You look at it right here.
Yeah, it's windy out there. Maybe they didn't hear each other calling for it.
You can't hear nothing over here because the Marshall fans have been just boisterous. On the other side, you're hearing Rhodes. You think we're in 100,000 seating capacity today tonight.
The metal bleachers sure aren't helping us out.
Yeah, there's a foul enough.
Lots of hustle here by Coach Robinson, getting all these foul balls. I don't know what's going on with the on-deck batter over there, but
he's running off his energy. There's that big curveball.
I'm starting to notice it flatten off a little bit, though.
Yep.
Is he getting ahead of him here?
Yeah, it's 0-2.
0-2. There it is.
Good spot.
So he gets out of it. But they come up with 4 runs on 4 big hits. And now it is 9-8 as we go to the top of the 5th inning, where John Marshall will have the heart of their order. Terry Harris, Ralphia Baez, Joel Martinez.
9-8 roads, right? 9-8 roads.
So again, you're looking at League Park. There's the museum, historic museum. It's something to see, folks. If you have not been out here, it's at 6601 Lexington. What a renovation project. This will be a big part of the All-Star weekend that's coming here to Cleveland that week. And I'm sure there'll be people coming through with tours and everything else. I'll tell you, it's an amazing, amazing history lesson when you come to this park. So please take the opportunity to get out and see what it's all about. Now, of course, these kids probably, when they're going to get older, they're going to tell them they played here. The one guy that hit a home run inside the park, will say he hit it over the fence.
Hey, you can say he hit a home run the same field Babe Ruth hit a home run. Nobody has to know any different.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't give credit to Chuck Carter, Ralph King, and John Buffer. They're the ones that maintain it, stay on top of it. They treat it like it's their own little baby. They try to make sure we keep it up and keep it clean, and they do a great job. So there's some of the history that you're looking at. So leading off for John Marshall, it is Terry Harris, the shortstop. He has singled and doubled.
Marshall could really use a run or two here just to settle everything down.
Wants to be a mechanical engineer. 275 on the season. He hit it. Base hit.
They needed that.
So Harris is on. 3 for 3 night. And now Ralphio Baez, the first baseman. He has struck out. He's walked and scored.
Good pick by the short catcher.
I don't think they're going to be running here. Do you?
Well, I wouldn't, but as aggressive as they've been.
Fouls that one off.
He's not getting much of a lead over there, so you wouldn't expect him to be going anywhere. And I haven't seen Coach Robinson giving any signs.
He's
definitely
in there.
leading. It's the first time we've seen him throw over there, too. Quick swipe tag might have got him out there because he was definitely caught leaning.
You know, from a baseball standpoint, Coach, they get one by him, that'll move him up, put him in scoring position. It used to drive me batty when I was coaching for years, where you would see, here's a pitcher out there, we'd be like in the 5th or 6th, he ain't thrown one time over to first base, and my guy's waiting until he lifts the leg instead of going on the first move. Little things like that can make a difference in a ball game.
Yep, and I don't know that they really were even stealing. These thumbs got caught off, but they'd have to if we're going to keep throwing the ball around here.
So another ball gets by.
Pass ball and a wild pitch on back-to-back.
Sure, Soto's going to say, I don't want anybody to see this tape. I'm better than this. So you got a man on third now. Nobody out. Marshall trails by 1.
Having this runner on third, nobody out. This run has to score for Marshall. They can't afford not to get this run in. Soto still throwing it around.
Well, there's the walk. Now you got 2 on, nobody out. And it'll come up to Joel Martinez. He has grounded out, walked, and scored.
I assume they'll be running here. I just wonder if they're going to let Soto throw through the way he's been throwing runners out.
Boy, that wind has really had a toll. You saw it right there.
Nice play by the first baseman. He took off, then he came back.
That ended up coming back into fair territory.
Yep.
So now it's up to number 14, Enai Veljak. He has walked and scored, and he's also struck out. One down, first and third. Don't see him having Baez go. Doesn't show that speed.
I don't know what kind of first and third offenses they have in play, but they might need to use it. They got to get this run home. I don't think early. They kind of did do the early release, and they didn't fall for it, though. Just as we said it, he kind of took off in the set.
So now you got two guys in scoring position.
Put the ball in play up the middle. This is a run because Rhodes is still playing back.
Ground ball. This should get the run home. And it does. We are tied at League Park.
And the sun's coming out.
Every time he says, I'm afraid to look up.
You can feel it on your back.
Yeah. Now you got Alonso Lopez, who has been fantastic at the plate. He has tripled and scored, singled and scored, and they just cannot get him out. So they got a man on third. You got two outs. I don't know if I'd be pitching to him right here.
Yeah, especially if you're looking at your score sheet, and, you know, Ortiz has struggled a little bit here, got caught looking twice on deck. I might just put up those four fingers and move on.
We're in the fifth. Ryan, here comes the throw. Then the John Marshall Lawyers have come right back to take the lead.
I don't know if catcher pitches the ball. We got a chance to maybe get an out here.
There wasn't a lot of speed coming down the line, and the ball bounced nicely right off of the brick right back to him, and just couldn't make a good throw. He was out otherwise. It's hard to catch, turn, and throw, and the runner coming, the pitcher running. And
you're looking at Philip Kay on the mound, 17, a freshman. Championship game, comes in relief.
Cue shot right at us.
Thank God for the fence.
I had you.
All four.
Roundabout way to walk him.
We call that the unintentional intentional. Am I right, Coach?
Yeah, that's what I thought they were going to do, but at that point, you may as well pitch to him now. Nobody on base.
Yeah. So now, Anthony Ortiz. He's had a rough day at the plate.
He's going to be happy to see a new pitcher out there.
Oh, I got to believe it. Coach, he's turning his head. He's turning out on everything.
Yeah, he's way out in front. He pulled his head. He had the coach moved him up in the box a little bit there.
0-2 count, 2 down.
Might see Lopez taking off at some point here, just getting scoring position with 2 outs.
Fly ball. And caught by Josan Ortiz. I think it was. It looks like it. It was not. It looks like Chaez. He made a switch here.
Yeah, I think when they made the pitching change, they moved some people around. And
yeah, they put Shaez back out in center, so the ball was caught by Shaez. So that ends the inning, but John Marshall back out in front. 10-9 here in the 5th. And Angel Chavez, the guy that caught the ball, will be leading off for the Rhodes Rams. It'll be Shaez, Rivas, and Joey Bresnihan. And again, you're looking at some of the trainers and the people that are here. Again, our special thanks to Cleveland Clinic as they provide the trainers and
Metro. And Metro Health.
Metro Health.
Yes.
Gotta mention them, man. Be in the doghouse if we don't get them. So, Tom, so far impression, we ran out of pitching. We're hit. We're going to try to get through this with who's going to play the better defense.
Yeah, and I think it's going to come down to obviously who's going to have the better relief coming in, because we already have one starter out. I can't see Lopez lasting too much more because his pitch count's getting up there, and these guys are starting to hit, so we're going to need some defense to carry us on into the end here.
Colin, when you had their game earlier in the year, did they bring in a relief pitcher behind this young man? Do you remember?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. And I don't know who it is, but like I say, it's the best Senate game I had all year, 4-1, just the reverse now.
Angel Shaez, ground ball right through the wickets. Oh, my.
Just as you talked about defense being a key.
What did we do to deserve this one?
Oh, I tell you what, you know, this turf has a big difference on the way the ball bounces, Tim.
Oh, it gets you in a heartbeat, man.
Look at that. Bounces, flattens out.
He's right on his heels there and just kind of caught him in between hops and surprised him a little bit. I expect Rhodes to be running here. They stay aggressive.
There he goes. Got him picked off.
Antonio Rivas. Well, they pick him off.
Come to Marshall, fans.
Yeah, they needed that.
So now Antonio Rivas, who has homered and popped out. Not an easy out at all for today. He's been on fire. Got the big hit. He is interested in getting in the medical field. Also likes 4.0 student.
Wow.
That's where the coaches go through and say, give me him. I can work for that. Ground ball. Comes up to get it, and he throws that away.
Once again, the size of this field is hurting on the overthrows. Plenty of spaces on both baselines.
Yeah, Harris did a nice job. He charged this. He got his feet underneath him, and he just short hopped it.
So now Joey Bresnahan, I hope I say that right, Bresnahan, and he has been 2 for 2. He's also scored a run. Colin, I don't feel that heat on the back of my shoulders anymore. Has the sun disappeared?
What are you talking about, sir? Nothing's changed.
Foul that one back. We're in the bottom of 5. Popped up.
Out of play.
You know, I think about the major league parks, and I think of Oakland. Like, you know, Oakland's like a big, wide open park. I think we're comparable to them. Pop this one up. Will he get there? No.
Rose was being aggressive there. Runner was going too.
Yeah. Now, was he going on the hit? I thought he was taking off before.
Oh, he took off before, yeah.
That's what I thought. Coach is trying to put him in motion, see him create something here, get another run.
The way the ball's been thrown over this park, I'd be running too.
Ground ball. This time, right on the money.
Perfect. See him bounce back there.
That's the Terry Harris I know. 2 down.
But you got to do a good shortstop here. You can't worry about the 2 previous errors. Ball hit to him. He stayed with it.
Boy, that guy getting picked off. That hurt there. That hurt in that inning. So now, Alex Soto, 1 for 3. He has scored. The catcher popped out, struck out, singled and scored. He'll take one outside. Big out here. Could be a big hit to tie the ball game. I'll take that one up high.
Yeah, he's squaring. I don't know why these guys are charging. He's not bunting. 2 outs. Helped him out. Could have gone 3-0 there.
He's just anxious. He's just anxious. I'm looking up in the stands, and they're standing all in front on the backstop. Fly ball. Could it be? And it's caught by Anthony Ortiz.
10-9 lawyers. Leroy. 10-9 lawyers.
So they had a couple guys on with errors. One got picked off, didn't get the hit. We're still 10-9 as we go to the top of the 6th.
After 5 complete innings, Marshall Lawyers 10, Rhodes Rams 9.
Again, folks, you are watching the League Park Senate Boys Baseball Championship game. Again, our congratulations to the Lady Rams from Rhodes as they've captured the softball championship last week right here on TV20. And we had Colin Robertson in the house for that one.
So here we go, Tim. Our umpires are out there teaching, helping the kids out. That's what it's all about. They're explaining to him what he's doing wrong out there. I haven't seen what he's doing, but...
Well, he's telling them. He's helping them. That's great.
Exactly.
Everybody thinks the guys in blue, all they do is think about balls and strikes. Hey, they'd love to come and have a great ball game, good fundamentals, enjoy it, just like the players.
See, they're out there helping them, both of them. That's what it's all about.
Well, I think that's great. That is tremendous, and it does take everybody in a big part. And I'm sure that if we talked to Bruce Davis today, he would definitely tell us, hey, it doesn't happen alone. There's a lot of people, the moms and dads that support them, getting them there, the coaches. God, I can remember how many times we had practice and trying to teach these guys. And the one thing, I don't know how you get around the town, but first time I walked in and I looked and I saw I got 9 Spanish guys, and about 4 of them only speak Spanish. I was like, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, well, it definitely was rough, and my first couple of years at Lincoln West, it was kind of rough, and my brother being my assistant, he was already there before me. He's like, oh, you'll get used to it. And I'm like, I don't know how I'm used to it. Every offseason I said, I'm learning Spanish this year, and I just never did. And I remember when Brian Ruiz was a freshman, he just would literally stare at me like he knew what I was saying. Then he'd turn to somebody I found out at the end of the season. He'd always, as soon as I was done talking, he'd say, okay, tell me what he said.
I've had the same things with players. I've gone out there to tell them something. They're looking at me. They're not even shaking their head.
Yeah.
And then I asked the coach, and he said, oh, they don't speak English. Oh, okay.
So leading off for John Marshall here in the top of the 6th is Jovan Ortiz. He singled. He's been on base twice. He got caught stealing before. This one's a fair ball. Tough play. No way. He'll round second, go there, and he'll hold there. Steven Tavares tried to make a great play and made the bad throw. We'll look at it right here, folks.
Yeah, it was a tough play to make for sure.
And got a nice short hop here.
Yeah, he scooped it nice. He just, on the run, that's a hard throw, and he just couldn't finish it. He had him if he just could have got the throw there, but.
So, man on second. Nobody out.
Got him.
They got a hold of this one.
Run for a while here.
Marino. Oh my.
I don't know.
Here comes the throw. He's in there.
The throw hit him when he was coming home.
Well, he got a hold of that one. I was a little surprised Coach Roberts is so aggressive with nobody out there, and it's such a close play because that ball was at the relay man by the time Moreno reached third base, but it worked out for him. You see that throw? He was really hurt, and it bounced off his leg on the way in.
Tell me somebody ain't fired up here. James Woodfolk. He'll try to add some more. Nobody out.
Got to feel good for Moreno, senior, going out his last game in the uniform, graduating this week.
There's a bad throw. Oh, wow.
So Woodfolk really flew down the line there, too, because that was a good play, but he really ran.
It is 12-9. John Marshall, and they're not done yet. They were leading 10-9, picked up 2 more.
No.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell for sure if Woodfolk even touched first there. He was going by so quick. Maybe we'll be able to catch it here on the replay. But he flew down the line and forced the throw. And it was a nice play here. He didn't take his time too long. He set his feet, and his speed just got to him.
This will go down as one of the most exciting, with the most errors, I think, in a championship game we've had in years, Tom.
Yeah, I think 6 or 7 errors ago we passed that up.
There's the swing and miss. Woodfolk. Strikeout, strikeout, ground out. Now we're looking at Terry Harris. Single, double, single. He's been on fire. You can tell when Terry's up there, he just loves hitting. He just give me the bat. I'll take all the batting practice I can get.
I'd like to see Woodfolk get a better, with all that speed out there, get a secondary lead or something. Anything I wanted to say in the dirt, but anything in the turf.
No, we got to change the dimensions over here, because this wind is kicking up and our papers are flying in 10 different directions.
You got to get us a cover for this tent that has our back.
Yeah. Come on, Sunshine. Come on back here. We like that.
Sun or no sun, that wind hasn't gone away all game.
No. Ground ball, fair ball. Makes the throw.
Nice play.
And
nice
he's out.
Nice play.
Steven Tavares. You might get me one time, but you're not going to get me the next.
pretty much the same exact play that he had to charge and throw on the run. This time you could see, though, maybe just the fact that he didn't have to take it on the short hop might have helped him. But he stayed on top of that one a little bit more, made a nice strong throw to first.
Man on third, and whoa, the coach got some hands. We're looking at Rafael Baez. He's been on base. Trying to put the bat on the ball. I think the temperature has dropped.
I think so, too.
If we're still at 50 degrees, I'll be surprised.
Yes. And folks, just so you know, this is May 20th in 50 degrees. Oh my, where is global warming at?
You see that blue sky over there? That's where it's at. Two down.
So now, Joel Martinez. We'll look at it here one more time and see.
Oh, we got benefit of the doubt on that one.
Oh, you better believe it.
But I mean, he's an umpire, so he was right. But I mean,
Hey.
I knew sooner or later.
Hey. A coach, both coaches at one time.
Folks, it's not our mic. It's not your Steve East. That hey is coming from somebody. I'm going to mention anybody's name.
It's one of the fans in the stands.
Yeah. But he loves them blue jackets right there.
Yes, I do.
Second base, hit it field. Code. He could have picked that up. Get on that strike, 5. He goes out and gets Bud Shaw. Comes for the bullpen. Here his score is.
That one's not going to go down. It's an error, Tim, but it will qualify as one. He kind of misplayed that one out there.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. There has to be something going on with the wind. There's just, that ball was up there so long, and it kept seeming like he kept going and looking at it. Now, did he push it back that much?
The wind's blowing this way.
And the weird thing was that was closer to where it looked like the right fielder could have made a play, and it was the center fielder that kind of got.
So 13-9, here's the throw. He's in there.
Yep, they finally got one on Soto.
Let's see the replay.
Sure, it was the right call.
You know, anytime the umpire makes a good call, we got to look at it. Here it is. We'll take a look. You tell us at home. Is he in there?
He tagged him, but his hand's on the bag.
Good call by the official.
That's a great call.
Tom Castleberry'd be coaching first and saying, wait a minute.
He'd be jumping up and down.
Here's a little number. Caught it in fair territory. Ends the inning. But they come up with 1, 2, 3 runs. 13-9. As we come to the bottom of the 6th, Coach. And leading off will be Philip Kay, then Ricardo Flores and Steven Tavares. They're right in the heart of their order.
I'm guessing the scoring's not over yet.
You guys are saying this is the highest scoring game you've ever seen?
I'll tell you this, in the years I was coaching, there wasn't a higher scoring championship game.
I don't remember it being this high.
Like I said, we had an 11-7 game my first year we made it to the championship game, and I don't remember any being as high as that. So
we've had some wild ones, though, Coach.
Yeah.
I can tell you one thing, and I'll admit it. You were playing, I think, against Rhodes, and Corey was helping, and I said, poor Tom, I'm glad he doesn't have any hair because it'd be gone already by now.
Yeah, that game was...
it was like, ended on a line drive to the first baseman, didn't it?
Yeah, so the funny story about that is we had just taken the lead. We're up by 1. They got the bases loaded. They got their best hitter at the plate with 2 outs. And I turned around to say something to Coach Douglas, and I couldn't find him. He was so nervous, he ran down in the dugout with the Progressive Field to go to the bathroom and hit the line drive to Nick Guerra at first base. And I think Nick got about 3 paper sheets off the ground to make the catch on the line drive. And then Corey came out and said, "Hey, what happened?" I said, "We won, Coach."
He's still out there pitching.
It kind of reminded me of when Carlos Ortiz, I don't know what coach let him throw 156 pitches, but in the championship game, throw the 156 pitches, complete game. Looks like Coach Robinson's trying to do the same here.
No, can't be that many.
No, he's not up there yet.
No.
But I'll tell you, Carlos, I talked to him, he still has the pitch counter at home. I gave it to him after the game.
Well, I'll tell you this. He'd love to have a short inning.
He needs it.
Ground
That'll
ball.
help.
First pitch. That's a start.
It helps when you got a pitcher who can play defense.
So you got one down.
The key there was, after he fielded it, you'll see here, he didn't try to make the throw right away. He didn't rush himself. He ran towards the base, got his momentum going that way. He underhanded, followed the flip, so the ball didn't sail on him.
Great play.
I'll tell you what, this guy here, Flores, can hit. I'm telling you.
He's got a beautiful swing.
Yes, he does. Now, he'll probably have a couple strikeouts along the way, but he's that type of a hitter. Man. The one ball he hit to right count, I'm glad I wasn't in front of it. I'd have said, go ahead on. He hit it hard. There's that big swing.
And he's up to 97 pitches now, so we'll see how much, how deep he can go here.
Well, if we went to Terry Francona, Tito, I think he'd say, okay, have the next guy ready. Give him as long as he can get him out, right?
Yeah, Coach Robinson
Coach Robinson knows his pitcher, so I don't know what he's done this year and how much he's built up his arm, but I got a lot of strange looks on the 156 pitch ones. You just never know.
Do you ever find yourself as a coach, especially like this young guy here? He's a senior, you know. He's playing in his championship game. Do you ever kind of feel like, I want to give him every opportunity to do this game?
Yeah, that's kind of what happened. And on his 100th pitch there, he gets a strikeout, so I guess he still got it. But that's kind of how we were going in that game when Carlos threw all those pitches in the championship game, and it was his senior year. And I'm like, I went to the mound several times. I said, Carl, are you sure that, you got he was going to college on a full ride at that point. I said, this game's not that important. He goes, I'm just starting to get loose, Cass. and he was. He didn't really start throwing well until about it. He worked out of a lot of jams. He didn't start throwing well until about his 100th pitch.
So Steven Tavares, 2 for 3, single, triple, ground out.
And I'll tell you, Lopez looks just as strong here as he did inning 1, so.
Well, we heard you wanted to give him a short inning. Bottom of 6, we'll play 7. Put the jinx on him, Coach.
Yeah, I think so.
He threw a couple great pitches, and all of a sudden it looked like there was nothing left there.
It almost looked like he hit the wall there on pitch
like,
100.
Okay.
Got the 100 pitch strikeout, and he's like, that's it.
Which one is it? That's what we want to know. Am I good or am I not good? I get you, Coach.
Maybe we figured it out. 100 pitches is limit.
Do you ever have that kind of pitcher where before I go out, I better make the decision before I get to him because he's going to do everything to talk me out of it?
I always did. Just ask my brother when he coached with me. I'd go out there, I'd come back. He said, I thought you were taking him out. I'm like, I was. He said he was good. I did the same thing, though, too.
Yeah. Well, Colin, we haven't talked a lot about your men in blue. They've done a pretty good job here today.
Yeah, well, there weren't a lot of close calls. There's only been all the calls were at second base, and he's right on top of it. When there's nobody on base in the outfield, when somebody's on base, he comes to the infield.
Oh, Lordy,
he
Lord,
wanted that
Lord.
one. You might have jinxed him there too.
I don't know, Coach.
Here we go.
Let's look at it right here.
Here we go. Here we go.
Oh, that's
was right.
Great call.
It ain't close.
Another great call.
From the side here, it looked really good. I'll tell you that.
That's it. You guys can see high and low from the sides.
You know
That's
what?
all you can see.
Here's what I realized. I'm hearing this thing in my head said, great call, great call. Is there something with the audio going on here?
That's another fan in the stands. They appreciate us.
So Josad Ortiz, he's doubled, popped out, struck out. 2 outs. They're looking to get one. He's going to go take off, and boy, he threw that somewhere.
Whoa.
He had no chance. Great jump anyway.
I'm focused on the hitter.
I think these last 2 batters, though, probably kind of seal the deal on Lopez being a complete game out of here. He just wants to battle through and get through the 6th inning. Hopefully they got a closer.
2-0 on the batter. There he goes.
Just eat it. And he started to slide in the third, about halfway to third. He's running out of gas, Coach.
As soon as Tom said he looked pretty good, he went right down to, like, okay. Here's this conversation.
You know he's going to be stealing here. All of a sudden, a base hit, and you got to run game again.
But Kyle's had a rough day at the plate. His walk, struck out twice. He seems to have had his number.
And this is a guy he's got to get. Don't even worry about the runner at first. Just get this here. If there was ever a time for the old pickoff move, this might be it. Oh, he just missed the sign over there at first base.
Yes, he did.
I mean, everybody here without a sign knew he was supposed to steal.
You see the coach talking to him like, what are you doing? At first, he knew it. He'll be going. He swings away. It's gone to center, and he made the catch.
Here go the Marshall fans.
Woodfolk.
Marshall's 3 outs away from the upset.
Well, folks, we're going to be right back for the 7th inning and the close of this city championship game.
It's that time again. Time to register your kids for summer camp at George L. Forbes. You must be a City of Cleveland resident between the ages of 9 and 13 and available for 1 free week of summer camp June through August. To register, bring proof of residency, age, and guardianship, up-to-date immunization records, and a copy of a physical to any City of Cleveland Recreation Center. For more info, call Camp Forbes at 216-263-5325. Again, that's 216-263-5325. And I'll see you at George L. Forbes this summer.
Back here at League Park, Center Championship game, heading to the top of the 7th. Lopez leading off. The man who's been the center of attention the entire game on the mound. Trying to add some insurance runs here. Make it a little easier for him in the bottom half. The new pitcher on the mound too for Rhodes, Angel Chaez. junior, right-hander. Old school stirrups, I like it.
Yeah.
Coming in, bringing some heat. Throwing strikes is the key. Coming in out of the bullpen, that's key. Rhodes has to play solid defense here this inning and get a 1-2-3 inning, or at least not let them run score. Give themselves a chance being down 3 here in the 7th. And being a former pitcher, I know if I'm Lopez, I don't even care. Just get me back on the hill as quick as possible.
Exactly.
I'm not even worried about it. Just give me the ball back. Let's go finish it. He went down looking there. So 1 out here in the top of the 7th. Anthony Ortiz stepping to the plate. He struck out twice looking and flew out to center field.
Right
nice pitch there on the corner.
Right on the corner.
Yeah, he came in throwing strikes, hitting spots. Looks like he has a nice fastball, comes downhill on it. I noticed they had Ortiz up in the box earlier. A little more heat here. He backed up. Like to see him step and throw there, but nice play. Quick 2 outs. Ortiz coming up. He's already scored twice today. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. You'll see the replay here. Ground ball right back to him, fielded nicely. And like I said, we like to see him step, and he made a nice solid throw, got the out.
Just stand there, flipping it over.
So 2 quick outs. Another ball of the backstop here. Been kind of a common theme all game here. But Chaz has come in and thrown strikes. He has messed around. I think I jinxed him again. Now he bounced back.
Yeah. 3-1.
I don't think we see him throw anything but a fastball. He's just reaching back. Got himself back here to full.
One thing about the Rhodes coaching staff, they got some young pitchers they're going to have coming back.
Yeah, they got to be excited getting this experience, and lost him there, but
I think you're right, Coach. This is big upset in the making right here.
Well, it ain't over till it's over. I've learned that in these games. You never know what can happen.
Especially after everything we've seen today.
Yeah. So we're back to the top of the order. Jeremiah Marino, he just homered his last time up. I still think they're chasing that ball.
I think he's still catching his breath, too. What if Coach Robinson will get a little bit aggressive here in 7th inning, 2 outs? May as well try to get him in scoring position. He suddenly lost his command, and I need to steal. Oh, good, the wind's picking up. Up, they threw it away.
Gonna try 3. Here comes the throw. He's standing up.
They usually wouldn't want to risk going to third base, but with all the pass balls and wild pitches we've seen today, I think it was a good gamble.
First, he's going to call time. You see that. Great move. You see how he looked to the coach? Just before he got to second, he didn't look back. He looked for the coach to tell him to come or go. A good job of base running by number 1, Jovan Ortiz.
He's got to make sure.
Ball's live. Here it comes. Here it comes.
See, I said it about 15 times earlier that be heads up over there on third because nobody was backing with that throw, and sure enough, another error has cost another run. And that one could be huge too.
If you look at that play, Tom, the catcher got caught standing back watching instead of getting out in front of the plate to take the throw.
All right, here
One
we go.
pitch too late.
So he ends up striking out the side, but they do come up with the 1 run, and that's right down Broadway. You couldn't see a better strike from anybody right there. So we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. And Rhodes Rams trails by 5.
I'd have never guessed this would have won 7 innings.
Well, you can see the crowd. They told us 70, folks. You know now we're in the 50s. Look at them all. They're covered up. They got the sweatshirts on. They got their hands in their coats. And, yeah, I'm with you guys. I'm putting them in now. Because,
I'm about to pull out the gloves,
cold.
Coach.
I saw Bruce Davis. I said, listen, this is supposed to be baseball, not football. It's too cold. How many times would you ever see a league director like Chris Kellner over there? He's got a tassel hat on and sweatshirt, and he's just trying to stay as warm as he can. So the Rhodes team has gathered. They're going to take one more last shot. They need 5 to tie, 6 to win. Anything less, we'll have a new champion in the house.
Lopez is going to try out to close this thing out. And I didn't see anybody even get loose over there. Coach Robinson, this guy I wanted on the hill from the get-go, and he's finishing it.
Ready for the Marshall fans to erupt if this happens.
So here we go. Chavez leading off. He has singled, scored, reached on an error, got picked off, struck out. He's pitched. He's done a little bit of it all today. And he's only a junior.
What Lopez really didn't want to do was just get out here and start throwing balls and give them a little bit of hope here. You just want to put the ball in play and hope your D comes through for you. Still got a little pop here in the 7th inning.
This is that message to the coach. Coach, this is my game. I got it.
I think they had that message on the sideline because I don't think there was even anyone warming up.
Ground ball, makes the throw. No. Couldn't scoop it.
It was a nice try all the way around, but it was a tough play.
You know, in fairness, we got to be fair to these guys. This is cold weather out here we're playing in.
Look, Coach, I'm having trouble right now. I don't know how to throw the baseball.
It's like I thought it was my hands, Tom.
No, my hands are
feeling
frozen.
the same way. Yeah.
That's a nice play. He got to the ball. He set himself. Short hopped him. Almost made a nice backhanded scoop.
We're looking at Antonio Rivas. He's homered and scored. Popped out. Reached on an error. These bottom three Rhodes players have done their part to get on base. They need them now. They'll foul that one back. We got Corey Douglas in the house. He's telling us we're way over 100 pitches at this point.
Not the way they wanted to start this bottom of the seventh.
Oh, my. Okay. We got a hit by pitch. We got an error. And now we're to the bottom of the order, and he's 2 for 3. Joey Bresnia, 2 singles, scored, grounded out to short. Want to get an out. If you're Marshall, Rhodes, you want to keep it going. Ground ball, 2 first. They'll make the play, and we get our first out. So now we go back to the top of the order. Alex Soto, 1 for 4. Popped out to third, flied out to right, singled and scored. He would love to drive these two in right now. And he tried to lay a bunt down.
Yeah, I don't think coach is thrilled about that decision. But
no.
I didn't notice the third baseman playing too deep or anything like that, so you can't trade out for a run here.
He's trying to get on. And he fouls that back. That's 0-2. You look at the umpires. They got the jackets on. They know we're in the 7th.
Home plate has been shirtless all day. How he does it, I don't know.
We're in the 7th, bottom of 7. And they'll take that one outside.
1-2.
Smart move by Martinez. Is a big out right here. Make sure you're on the same page with pitch you want to throw. Or maybe he's just cold and he's needing to jog.
Just like, hey, we just need a strike here now. Don't worry about anybody else.
Foul ball.
Foul that off.
Nice
you
pitch.
could barely hear the tick.
Absolutely.
You know you're cold when you turn around and see Chuck Carter, who's been here all the time. He's got his hands in his pocket.
Got his hood shirt on.
He feels like he's in the middle of the winter season.
Coach, I brought my winter gloves with me, and I told myself I'm not putting them on, but they might come out.
Oh.
He wanted to.
Then you look at the supervisor. He's got gloves on like for the winter. Come on, sunshine.
Everybody's got a hoodie on. What's going on here?
You're looking at TV20 championship game. Rhodes and John Marshall. We're in the 7th. Pop up could be trouble.
Foul ball.
Foul ball.
We had a bad angle, but it must have been close because Martinez fell to his knees.
I know there's something wrong with my prescription glass because they look dark and there's no sunshine.
It's a glare off the TV
Oh, yeah,
screen.
that's inches foul. That could have turned this game around.
2-2.
Yep.
He got to bring that bat down. He almost fouled that off. Nobody backing it.
Oh, my. Who's the one that jinxed this year?
When it comes down to it, that run really doesn't mean anything anyway. Just focus on the batter. That came awfully close to hitting his bat.
Exactly. Got to pull it back, just like he said.
That was a lot closer than we thought. One down, one on. Foul ball. Coach going to clean it up. He's battling them.
And this battle is just adding to the pitch count, which is just going to make it even that harder, much harder for him to finish this game.
He got it.
Right to him now. They'll trade for the out for the run. That means nothing.
He hit it on the button, but right to the left fielder.
Left fielder didn't even move.
And Veljak was there. So the sack brings in another run. But more importantly, the second out.
Here come the fans again.
They know it. They're one out away. Philip Kay at the plate. Popped out, grounded out, singled and scored. Can he keep it going for the Rhodes Rams? And there's the strike. They'll tell you, folks. You may not hear us, but they'll tell you. Ground ball, shortstop, throw.
That's it.
There's a new champion in the house.
Lopez just collapsed out there. What a battle.
There's a lot of happy people. Well, folks, stay with us, because when we get back, we'll have the award presentation right there on the field.
Superman, man, am I glad to see you.
What are you doing on this deserted road?
Some guys from school drove out here and we're going to start fooling around with drugs. When I told them all drugs do is mess up your head and get you in a lot of trouble, they kicked me out of the van and drove off.
You're right not to get involved in the drug scene. Nobody with any sense wants any part of it.
How do I get home?
That's no problem at all.
Welcome back, where you've been watching the Cleveland Metropolitan School District's baseball championship game, and we are here with the team runner-up. And Coach, you know, you talked about keys to the game, and all of them really played fruition here. You talked about getting the early lead. You talked about making the routine plays. Today, it just seemed like this field, the ball takes off faster. It's an adjustment period, but they just did not play the defense that you were hoping for.
No, they didn't, but I got to give credit to Marshall, too. They put the ball in play. They tried to run on us, bunt on us early, put the pressure on us early. And I think doing that kind of put us on our heels.
Okay, well, we got a special presentation. Mr. Davis.
How you doing? We'd like to congratulate you this year for second place runner-up. Congratulations to a great season.
Thank you.
Again, congratulations to the Rhodes Rams, our 2019 runner-up. Congratulations, guys. We got some news. We got some news, folks, from League Park. It's been 16 years. It's either been Rhodes or Lincoln West, but that's all over. We got a new champion in the house. They're the John Marshall Lawyers.
Congratulations, Coach.
Coach, you couldn't ask for a team with a lot of heart and playing through diversity all day today. It was just an unbelievable battle.
I have the toughest kids in CMSD. Mentally tough, physically tough, and on top of that, their baseball coach loves to play baseball like it's a football game. So we went up a touchdown and, gave up a touchdown. But the guys hung in there. We had some big hits when we needed them. Alonzo battled all day, didn't have his best stuff, but he battled. So I'm very proud of him. And, we got, I've said this to you, this was the least experienced team we've had in the last, out of the last 3 years. So I'm very proud of the way, I told them all through the season, it was about graduating. Learn to make the next play. We have someone playing here at center field, JW, James Wolfwalk, who hasn't played baseball since he was 6.
I hear you. All right, well, congratulations, Tom. We talk about championship games. We've been doing this for a number of years. This one will go down as one of the ones that was an up-and-down roller coaster ride.
Yeah, we said it all game that it was just the team that would make the big play, and just Marshall made more of the big plays, and just Lopez battled the entire game and just was able to finish it off for him.
Okay, you've been watching TV20. It's the CMSD Championship. Before we leave, we want to take a look at some of the faces and some of the great plays that definitely filled our day today. But for this day, it belongs to the John Marshall Lawyers, our 2019 city champions. Good night, everyone.